the basic stuff, and maybe show you what you need. Is my browser? Can you see my browser?
Yes, we can see it.
Font is okay. Or do I need to zoom in? Yeah, is my font okay? Simon?
It's fine. It's fine.
All right. For Flutter, much of the documentation itself here, this website, flutter.dev docs, you'll have all the essentials you need. I'll provide you with all the tutorials. For me, basically, this is what I've used for most of the time, and maybe when I need to check videos, you have it on YouTube. The Flutter community itself, they have hosted a lot of videos that can show you a few things if you need to ever do something specific that is not covered in the documentation, which I highly doubt. But anyway, if you want to get started, you can go to the install or just click get started here, which will install the Flutter. It depends now if you're using Linux. I'm on Linux right now. Mine already, I have Flutter installed, so most of you guys will have Windows. Just use Windows. So for Windows, you can download this. It's a zip file. And once you can follow the instructions here to get it installed. Then after the installation is complete, there's usually a setup for your IDE, your preferred IDE, which you can use Flutter on VS Code. You can also use Flutter on Android Studio. Yeah, those are okay. I've used on both of them. If your machine is good, like you got good RAM, high RAM, and a good processor, you can use Android Studio. Studio is it can be sure to use up most of your resources. So, but for VS Code, if you can go light and use VS Code, you still do the same job. It still works. It doesn't need anything more to make it work. So if you want to install it on VS Code or Android Studio or IntelliJ and Android Studio, they look the same, but Android Studio is best, more for Android. Right, you can install it here. I have mine already installed on Android Studio and VS Code also. So depends on how. If I'm using an emulator, which you need to use an emulator, or you can use your phone if you have an Android phone. If you're developing for Android, you can install your emulator. This installation for the emulator is another process by itself. So I don't think I'll go through that because that will take most of our time. But you can just install it. It's no big. Once you're installing Android Studio, it will guide you on how to install the emulator, to install the necessary packages to run your apps on your emulator. Emulator is this device here. It's like a phone. Okay. So you can also check out the code labs if you are interested to learn more. There's you have code labs under this. Yeah, code labs. There they have code labs. You can, for a beginner, you can start here for writing your first app or writing your app on the web. Yeah, the good thing is Flutter is that you can also write apps that run on the web and also apps that run on your devices. That is Android or iOS. Depends on what device you're using at that time you're building your app. For design, which is I can tell you for Flutter, design is a bit I find it more beautiful than the native Android. I don't know. For Flutter, you don't need a lot of things to make good looking apps. Apps will look good without you. They're just using the provided widgets, which everything in Flutter is actually a widget. If you have come from web development, you know things like containers, rows, columns, such things. They also exist in Flutter, which makes it much easier to pick up and very fast to develop if you are coming from a different development. Anyway, let me jump into the. I'm not gonna build an app right now because this emulator thing I show you can take some time to build, but I'll just show you how to start. On Android Studio, you come here, file new, then you'll hit new Flutter project. You follow the prompt, just say next. Here you gotta be attentive. I have a project already called Flutter app, so I'm gonna call it Flutter demo. My SDK is define where your installation for Flutter was saved on your machine. Mine was because we installed using Snap. Snap is a Linux, is a Ubuntu package manager. So mine was just use Flutter here. It will work. Then you can specify the project location. Mine will go to folder called FP. That is not necessary. Okay, says Flutter is not found in a specified location, so must have missed something. So come here, Flutter, you go to common, then Flutter. This is what you need. I don't know on Windows how it will show, but for Flutter, for Linux, bin is where the application is installed. So yeah, now everything is okay. You can choose to create the application offline if you don't have internet connection, but you can also create it on which you not install your dependencies. So let me check that. Click continue. There's a package name, it can be anything, but I usually think that you can't call it something to do with Google. I think there's something like that. I don't know. 400 guys, they will tell you. So now I'm creating the Flutter project. I might take some time because, or maybe fast. I don't know. Depends if the packages, the dependencies are already been downloaded before. But it's no problem. Nice. That was fast. Now just me open on a new window so I don't close the previous one. And load the components. If you have any questions, you can ask on the chat. I'll have an eye on that also. Okay. Right here. Once the Flutter application that you are starting, it comes with the boilerplate code, which will help you get started with the
Chege, are you still with us? Well, I think our presenter has has an issue with audio. Chege, can you hear me? So basically, he was showing us how to start a project on Flutter. Okay, and he has mentioned that we can use VS Code, Android Studio, IntelliJ, among other IDEs and editors. Well, one thing about Flutter, one major advantage with Flutter is I can say it's lightweight. You cannot compare either Java or Kotlin with Flutter, because now for you to start writing an app in Android Studio using Java or Kotlin, you need to install Java, and you know Java itself is heavy. Another thing you need, you can only write your code on, I think, either IntelliJ or Android Studio, and you won't have a lot of trouble. But now when you try maybe writing your code on Notepad, you know, there are people who believe in Notepad. Yeah, at that point now, moving your code that you've written on Android Studio now back to on maybe another editor, even Sublime. Sublime is an editor. Yeah, moving that code to either Android Studio now for you to make an app will be hectic. But now with Flutter, that's not the case. Flutter, you can write it and then it's easy to integrate it and use it on your app. The other thing he has mentioned, I can see he's back. CB, can you hear me? Huh. The problem could be his emulator and stuff. Yeah, it consumes around 90% of the RAM. So that has been an issue, but Google is trying to, okay, the developers and the studio developers, in not necessarily be Google, they're trying to come up with a way to minimize. So I don't know where I was, but I was talking about Flutter. So as I said, Flutter is lightweight, so it won't consume a lot of resources as Java and other Java or Kotlin will consume. But now still, maybe we can hear more from him. Chege, can you hear us? Well, I can see there is a question from Caleb Kiprotich. Do all machine allow visualization? I have tried on my machine, but all in vain. I can't understand what kind of virtualization, but maybe I think it's about emulator. For me, I think emulator is not the best way to go, though at times it's good. Reason being maybe I think Caleb, you're talking about the emulator. Yeah, any machine that can support Android Oh, sorry guys. Have I responded to Caleb? Sorry guys. Uh,
Simon.
yes. We can hear you.
Uh, I switched the
Sorry for that. Sorry for
kicked me
that.
out. Anyway, let me just.
You can try sharing your screen again.
Coming through. Should be live now. Is it?
Not yet. Not yet.
Ah,
Yeah, can see it. Can see it. The session is no longer available.
what happened? Are we
Because
still?
you. Yes. What happened? You logged in to the device using the same email, so it cannot allow you. You can try.
I've logged out on my phone. I don't think. But I'm seeing a session no longer available. Is that for everybody?
Let me do something on my side. It's
Uh,
not for everybody.
okay, Caleb. Your question is about virtualization. This is something to do with running a VM inside your machine. This one can be changed. I would like to know your machine first, but this one can be changed in the BIOS settings. That's where you change your virtualization. You allow it. If you don't allow, most machines by default come with that thing is off. So you have to allow, you turn it on, then you can install your VMs. It will work. VMs include the emulator also. So if it's HP, you can just go to your BIOS settings using the 12, 11, I don't know, that setting that comes before you open your OS. That one will work. Uh, Simon, my screen is still not visible.
Uh-huh. I'm about to give you a crazy idea, which I don't know whether it will work. You can try refreshing.
Refreshing my browser.
Yeah, of which
Okay.
you might end up being disconnected first, and then
Uh, let's see what happens.
has disappeared. But we can see your screen.
I can see my screen, but
Yes, I can see your screen.
you can see my screen,
Yes.
but I'm away from the meeting already. How is that possible?
Can you try joining?
I'm not even in the meeting, but I'm
Yes,
in the
you
meeting.
are.
Okay. Some bugs there.
Okay, I think
Uh,
you are back now.
my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. This is the app. Uh, I had two of them. This is the one that we just created right now.
Okay.
I launch my.
Check, are we still together? Check. Check, are we still together, or there are some issues again? Check.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you. What was the matter?
I don't know how it's kind of muted. I wasn't even aware.
Oh, sorry.
So this is
So
the app. This is the app, the Flutter demo. This is the app that.
try sharing your screen. We cannot see it.
Oh, sorry. I believe it should be on. Should be live right now. Is it live?
Yes, it's live.
All right. So this is the app. This is the after compilation. I can't compile right now. It might take some time. First time compilation takes some time anyway. But after that, there's always this thing here called hot reload. This one is minutes. The app will be up. Let me check. This is the. Let me take you through the code itself. So, for example, this is Flutter app. This is the one. Okay, don't get confused. This is the one that I had already developed before. Then there's this one. This is what we just created right now, Flutter demo. I didn't compile this. I didn't run it. That's why this thing is still green. But this one you can see there's a dot. It means it's running. This is the one that's live right now on this emulator right here. So every Flutter app has its entry. The entry is main.dat. Flutter is a UI toolkit. The language behind it is Dart. Dart is the language. And you can learn that by just visiting dart.dev. You'll find all the Flutter Dart. It's a programming language. It looks and feels like JavaScript. If you have written JavaScript, this will be easier for you. But anyway, this is not the topic today. Today is Flutter. So this is the app now. I can change something on the app itself and try to hot reload to see how fast this thing changes. For example, I can change. This is the entry. Let me move this comments. I'm making a call look a bit. Remove these comments. Okay. Let me just show you the entry for the app. The entry for every Flutter app is this. Oh, what is this? I have in an error. Entry for every Flutter app is the my app here. It can be anything, but it's whatever you put here. Main, run app, my app. That function or that class is the one that will start your app. For this case, it's my app. No, why it's red? Let me see. It is missing. So I'll be running my app on. This is the entry. This is start with material app. Material app this is for Android. It's for iOS. This will be different. You'll be starting with Cappuccino app or something. But now for this, because it's Android, I'll start with the title will be Flutter demo. This will not show. This will only show on when you press like this button on your phone. That's the only time it will show. Like when you press the recent button, this title, that's when it shows. And then the theme data, this one is just where you put on the app color. For the app we are designing right now, it's blue, as that's where you can see the app there is blue. Then home now is where you start. It's like your root, the application root. And the root, you start with the home page, or it can be anything, any other function you want. But for this instance, the app is my home page. It could be anything else, but we'll start with home page. That's the first. That's the first page that we load every time you open the app. And we pass in the title for the app, which is Flutter Demo Homepage, which is what you should see here, Flutter Demo Homepage. I can change this. Just say maybe Flutter Homepage. And then I hot reload the app. Running the sync, it's syncing the files. It's taking longer than usual. Usually just like saving and then it works. The changes would be displayed there. But anyway, it's no big deal. I think that we can wait. Just continue with the other parts. This part here is this is that. This is that. But you will notice there's there's an unexpected token. Oh yeah, it's there. Yeah. I should fix it. So you'll notice there's two. There's stateless widget and there's a stateful widget. Stateless simply means this is the one you use if the screen that you intend to use does not change or does not change. It's the input does not change, or there is no interaction with the user or something like that. That's when you use stateless, like that screen never changes. But when you want to use stateful means that your screen does change. So if you want to use stateful widget, you can use this is when you want to have things like click buttons and scrollable widgets, like you can scroll on them. That's when you use stateful widget, but that will come later. We'll check on that later. For now, our app, which does, this is a button, this is a floating button. It's the code for that is just right here. Let me remove these things. The code for that is just here, floating action button. This is the one that does the, if I click it here, to just increment this number, which will just change the value of increment counter, which is right here. This is more of a Dart. It's not much of Flutter. It's Dart. It's the language, programming language. So this is a function in Dart. Void means it returns nothing. So it just sets a state, which is counter. Counter, you start at 0, and when you press that button, it will increase the counter 1. So if I click it again, the emulator will show 2, 3, 4, 5, and that. So what this screen here is this part. Every Flutter app starts with a build. This build is the one that will show you this screen that you're seeing on the emulator. You notice there's debug thing here. That debug thing means that your app is being run in development mode, and usually that app is heavy. If you check the the size of the app, if I was to compile this, it would be more like 50 MB plus. But the final app, the one that you ship to your users, it's actually a small app. That's no big deal. That should not worry you. For now, let me go through this return statement here, because this is the one that shows you this. Scaffold. Scaffold is a widget. Scaffold is this part, the part where it's written Flutter demo homepage, that blue thing. The top, it's like the top bar on your app. Then it has other arguments you can put in there, like the app bar. Now the app bar itself is this thing, which you can take in the title, which you now give it the title, which is the title widget title, which is this right here, which was given through this. Then this is when it was provided. But this thing did not change. Flutter, let me run it. Let me run it, see for any changes to be propagated. Anyway, you'll see there's a center, like the body. Now this is the screen, the white screen itself. You can have center if you want to center the content of that screen. Then for center, you have a child. Like this is a child, but for there are other widgets that take in children, like this one. If you intend to use more than one other thing, so use a child, which is a column. That means whatever content you'll put after that will be aligned as a column, one on top of the other. So, and this is the column. This part here, you have push the buttons this many, and there's 6. Then the column has children. You can have one or many children. So for this instance, we have 2 children, which is text. So this is how you can easily declare text on Flutter. You just call the widget text. Now you have this text here, which is what is appearing here. Then is the text for counter, which is now counter this variable here, which you had declared on this part here, up here on your class, the extends home. So then for text, you can have just the styles of the text. You can say the theme of the context. Theme of the context right here, this statement here, don't let it confuse you. It just means at theme of the context, this the theme that I'm using, which is what was defined here. Usually at theme data. For this is where you change your theme if you want to go dark mode and stuff like that. This is the widget to change. Then they have several different text themes. You can have it line 4. Is 1, 2, 3, 4. You can also have. Sorry, won't show it right now because this Gradle thing is running right now. So, okay, let me just use it for. You can have other different heading and stuff. Then, as you can see, there's these lines that are showing you where that particular leaf on the tree is. Like this one, it's on the scaffold, the app bar, the body. Then there's the floating action bar button. Those are all under the scaffold. Then the body has the child. These things will help you to because Flutter is all about building things inside things and things. So it's more of widgets. So there will be a lot of things. Your code may start going to this direction like this. So it's good. It shows you where that child is located and who is the parent and stuff like that. Then, as you can see, this is like an on press. This is what will happen when this button is pressed to increase the counter, which is what the function now is. You're calling the function increment count. This is what you're calling here, which will now increment the counter. And then a tooltip. This tooltip here just helps you. For this, you don't see it on your phone or device, but if you like press and hold the button, press and hold. That's when you see that incline. I don't know if I can try on my emulator. I don't know if you, yeah, there. If you press and hold, then it show you that tooltip. It just shows you what the app that widget does. The button now itself. Then it has a child. The child now is the right here, that plus icon. And that's where you are adding icons. Then icon widget. Everything in Flutter is built on widgets. You'll hear about anyway. So okay. There's a bunch of here you can try. These are material. The material you can check on MDN. That's the name of that site. MD what? Material design. MD. Yeah, material design. You see all these icons. You can see here this floating action button. You see them. They are now being explained how they work and the properties that I stuff like that. This thing is taking forever to run, man. Okay, I don't know if I'll be able to show it the changes, but if you have any questions, I can be taking them right now. We are actually only have like 8 minutes, but this is gonna take some time to run. Don't know if it'll be done anyway. Set up the files here. I don't know if you can see this, but anyway, you can ignore that. You can ignore that. These are these are the folders that you'll mostly work with. This one here, obsec. This tab is where you define the dependencies that you might need when developing. With the comments, they'll give you guidelines on where to put certain things. Then this is now this I can't open it on my computer, so it's not a Mac. But on a Mac, you'll be able to read this document. This is one you use when you're defining things that you need on your iOS app. That's why because a Flutter app can run either on Android or iOS. It's usually multi-platform. It's one code for all. That includes web and desktop also. Recently, Conical, the owners of Ubuntu, have taken Flutter as their first development tool for their Snap apps. This thing is taking long. Won't be able to run it. Simon, are you still there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's the Gradle task is taking forever.
Actually, mine crashed. My Android Studio has crashed. It has taken. Yeah, I'm using 4.03, I guess. Yeah, and that one has an inbuilt emulator, not like yours.
Yeah,
This one came with.
I've noticed. Yeah,
Yes,
I
you
noticed
not.
mine is 4 also, but it has it inside. But I've not. What?
Yeah, you can change, but I thought it
You can
is easy. I thought it was a good decision, but I realized it's one the same thing.
Android
It's
Studio.
consuming a lot.
Android Studio does require a lot of resources. For my normal development, I don't even use an emulator.
Okay.
I prefer using it on just running on my phone.
Yeah, same case. And also, maybe during presentation, there is something I was using when I was using Windows, known as, is it voice or visor, such an app that could now create an image of your phone on the computer. So you could be like having an emulator, which is your phone now.
All right. Okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah, that's
I'll
how
check it
you
out.
can
I'll
check.
definitely check it out because this
Yeah,
emulator
maybe.
is doing no justice to my RAM.
Yeah, maybe I think they require around. Uh, when I was setting up Android Studio last, I think I dedicated 4 GB for Android Studio alone, and you know the other processes taking place.
Hey, 4 GB is a lot, bro.
I wanted you to, I want to make Android development my primary thing, and still it's yet to get in line. But thank you for the presentation. I don't know whether you are done or yeah. Is it
I,
still running?
I, it's still running.
Okay.
I can't wait for this thing
uh,
to complete. It will take
yeah,
forever.
I don't know. Is there any question, guys, from your side? I think I'm gonna read out names. Sweet impurities, Komu, Moses again, Kipleting, Maxwell, Yvonne, Felista, Caleb, Lozi. Any question? Mercy, any question?
My browser now doesn't want to
Uh,
work.
uh, the best thing you can do at the moment is to kill Android Studio. Otherwise, you might end up leaving the meeting. I almost left.
Why,
Lucky
why,
me, I
why?
was.
My CPU is maxed
I
out
don't
already.
know. Mhm. Maybe you
Let
can
me kill.
try kill the emulator first. Yeah, but
And
anyway, those are problems with normal development life. Okay, thank you, Moses. Another thing, as to where I love Flutter is about the UI. Like the UI that you've just shown us it can even take 3 hours to achieve in Android Studio when using either Java or Kotlin. But now it's so easy to make one using Flutter. That's why I love Flutter because of the UI. There are some pictures I was to show you, but since the owner is not in, I think it will be very wrong to show them. But next time, I'm sure the guy will be in. Maybe he was held up. Yeah, but anyway, guys, it's good we try out Flutter and see where it can take us. Yeah, Flutter is cool. Flutter is cool. You can do a lot with it.
it's easy.
And
It's very fast.
yeah, it's easy, very fast. Flutter is easy, it's very fast,
You
and
can learn
within days. Actually, it is within days.
within
That
days.
one
Yeah.
I know it.
Oh, yeah. There's
Yeah.
something I didn't. Maxwell is asking about that. You can't create a flat app without that. I didn't mention that. When you're installing, if you go through the, let me see. If you go through the installation part, you'll see there is a part where you're installing plug. It's for Android. You can't that many because it's. I don't want to say Flutter is a framework because it's. I don't know. It's not, but you need that. It's just a UI kit. That is the language behind it. So you need it.
Nice, Caleb. I can see you said you've learned something. That's good. There's another question. Does it cover backend too? Check, you can respond to that.
Backend, yes. Yeah, that is a yes. But it depends. It depends on how you want to develop your app. Some people might develop APIs, then you consume the API using the app, and it still works. That is you can develop the backend with that itself. It's actually Google champion it for backend development. It does work. There's no limitations to what you can do with the Flutter.
I wanna read something that Mr. Ngereki sent to me. Uh, 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 okay, using Flutter, you can, yeah, found it. You can either create an app to run on either Android OS or iOS. Yeah, I'm sure about that. You can go ahead, yeah, across platform. You can go ahead and create an app that will run on both. Is it concurrently or at the same time? Yeah, I mean across platform app that can run either in iOS or Android as well. You can go. You can. I think you can even create a web, right?
Yeah. Yes. Not think it can.
Can
with Flutter,
Flutter
with
can do a
Flutter 2,
lot.
with Flutter 2, you can now make web. Just one
Mhm.
code. You don't even need to change the code. Like, okay,
Okay.
for now with Flutter 2, this app I just made for my phone, I can still compile
Mhm.
it to run on web. It still work without
Okay.
me changing anything.
Nice.
And also
So
for iOS, it will still work.
that's amazing because that cannot happen in Java or Kotlin. That cannot happen. You have to change a lot of things.
Yeah, for Android, it's just Android. Yeah, apps run on Android only. But for Flutter, the app can run either on iOS, that is for Apple, and Android, that is Google. So
Uh,
it's one tool for everything.
I like that. So guys, thank you for showing up. Uh, don't exhaust all your questions. You are free to ask. Next time we shall allow audio. We shall enable audio for everyone so that you can ask your question easily.
Yes, that's
Uh,
it.
sure. So the meeting is recorded and will be uploaded on YouTube, and you guys will be able to go through it. So we were supposed to meet on 30th. I don't know whether we should meet on 30th or we should now count 2 weeks from now, or should we count 2 weeks from last week, which we never covered. Okay, this is a makeup meeting, just like makeup classes. I don't know whether you should go with the initial plan or should we reschedule everything. So guys, you can just help me. Should we meet on 30th or should we meet on the first week of May? Or that one is, or we can decide that later.
Uh, that is just next week. The first week
Okay,
of
that
May will be 7th.
it will be on 7th.
Yeah, the first Friday will be 7th.
So I don't know,
Anyway,
but maybe that one you can
yeah,
decide later.
yeah, it's no biggie.
Yeah. So guys, we have around 7 or so sessions remaining. So at the end of all sessions, we shall come up with a project, and yeah, maybe next week we shall discuss with the core team and decide which project we can be doing in Flutter. And so only those guys who've been participating will be part of the team, because now you cannot be outside and you don't know what we are doing inside and now join our team. And yeah, I have so many ideas we can share out and also brainstorm so that we can see which is the best idea. And with that, we'll be able to accomplish our mission. So thank you guys. Let's meet next time.